de nuestro país. Vengan, escuchen todas las historias, historias de amor, love, aventuras, adventures, and all the bad things and good things that happen to the people of our place. Good afternoon, everybody. As you know who I am, or if you don't, I'll let you know next time.
Miguelito de la Q.
Yeah, Miguelito. He decided to name me Miguelito de la Cuesta today. But today I feel fortunate that I have the Trujillos here. Can you believe that old guy over there and this young guy here? I played music with both of them.
Don't use the old word.
Yeah, okay. All right. That elder over there.
I don't know if that's any better. It's okay.
Anyway, Vito Trujillo Sr., Vito Trujillo Jr. And wait a minute. Your driver's license says what now?
Carlos.
Carlos, yeah. That he doesn't know why, but the driver's license came back.
And the minute I got that, well, I'm Carlos. He said, well, he's not junior anymore.
I said, that makes me senior.
Okay, so that's really confusing. Yeah.
But he told me you'll never be senior. You're still junior. Because we have a third also. So it goes down the line.
Anyway, so this guy's, I've been friends forever and ever, and we've done music forever. And I asked them if they could come and do this, and graciously said yes. So I want to ask him to start off with a song or two, and then we'll continue with them talking about their lives. I'll ask a couple of questions, and then let them go from there. Okay. So, por favor.
Sure.
Thank you.
1, 2, 3. ¡Échale!
Quiero que sepas que sigo el camino por donde has desmarcado tu paso. Ando buscando que tú me perdones y que si se puede otra vez me hagas caso. Quiero que sepas que yo reconozco que tuve la culpa perder tus amores. Quiero también escuchar de tus labios que si no hay cariño, que no haya rencores. Voy de vereda buscando aquel amorcito que supo quererme. Lo ando buscando con grandes urgencias antes que en el vicio yo pueda perderme. Quiero que sepas que yo reconozco que tuve la culpa perder tus amores. Quiero también escuchar de tus labios que si no hay cariño, que no haya rencores. Voy de vereda buscando aquel amorcito que supo quererme. Lo ando buscando con grandes urgencias antes que en el vicio yo pueda perderme. Quiero que sepas que yo reconozco que tuve la culpa perder tus amores. Quiero también escuchar de tus labios que si no hay cariño, que no haya rencores. Quiero que sepas que yo reconozco que tuve la culpa perder tus amores. Quiero también escuchar de tus labios que si no hay cariño, que no haya rencores. Thank you.
You gotta get the lid out. Gotta get finger happy. Yeah, we'll do a little bolero here for you guys.
All right.
Dicen de mí que yo he sido un libro abierto donde mucha gente ha escrito. No hagas caso, nada es cierto. En blanco está. Nadie supo escribir nada. No dejaron ni una huella, a nadie le importaba nada. ¿Qué importas tú? Tú se escribes muy bonito, para ti soy libro abierto. Escribe ni te necesito. En blanco está. Nadie supo escribir nada. No dejaron ni una huella. A nadie le importaba nada. ¿Qué importas tú? Tú se escribes muy bonito. Para ti soy libro abierto. Escribe ni te necesito. Para mí soy libro abierto. Escribe ni te necesito.
Thank you.
You know, when we're having the Spanish classes here, these are the original of the music from way back. As far as this is not a new song.
The songs are even older than we are.
Yeah, that's it. That's what's amazing to me is you take this song like this one. It's been around for probably 80 years, maybe 100 years, and yet it's one of the best songs you can, that you can hear. So, Mr. Senior today, why don't you start us off with a little bit of your life?
Oh, well, I started playing the guitar about 8 or 9 years old with my brother's guitar. But he wasn't really interested. He had traded a rifle or something for a guitar, so he ended up with it. And I picked it up. And eventually my mom would talk him into giving it to me. And so I played and started playing when I was in high school with the bands there and sock hops and all of that good stuff. Anyway, we got a group together called, I joined a group called the Midnighters.
Yep.
And then eventually we changed the name to the Zircons. And we thought we were pretty hot, so we left Taos and we went to Salt Lake City. We were there a year, there was nothing happening there at all. And then we weren't Mormon, nothing against them, but we weren't. And so we decided to go to Los Angeles. Okay, on the way to Los Angeles, we stopped. One of the guys had some folks in Las Vegas, Nevada. So we stopped there. This is 1961, I think. So they took us to the Fremont to see the Newton brothers. It was Wayne Newton and his two brothers. It was a trio. And the leader of the group went backstage and picked his mind, Do you know any agencies in LA? We're going over there. Oh, yeah, he says, and he gave us the name of the McConkey Agency. I don't know if they're still there or not, but we got there, and the first thing she said, oh, I'd love to handle you guys. Great. I need 3 glossies, 8x10s. We don't have that. Okay. I need some recordings. We don't have that. Are you in the union? No. Everything was no. She said, well, when you fix all of this, come back and we'll be, Meanwhile, we met up with a guy named Charles Cascalas. This guy was a lifer in the military. And he had a big band like the big bands, And he had a lot of connections all over the place. So when he retired, he became an agency, and he had 4 of us groups, and he would send us out on tours, like a Northwestern tour, for 2 months or so. And then down to the South for another, we were all over the place. We traveled, I think, 42 states with him.
Wow.
And we were doing dance music. It was top 40. So whatever was top 40 in the 60s, which is rhythm and blues, really, it's what we had to do. And so we survived on that. And then about 12, 13 years of that, I said, I think I'm going back home. I don't like the traffic here, So I came back, and that's when I started all over again with the Spanish stuff. Fortunately, in Ranchos, there was the Cortez Theater, and that's all they had was Mexican movies when I was growing up. So I was familiar with all the Mexican stuff. And so I started doing that. And then I met up with my good friend Alan Vigil that had just come off the road, and he had doing basically the same thing with his group. And they said, let's get together. I said, yeah, okay. So we formed that group, and I said, well, we don't want to do all Spanish, and we don't want to do all. I said, well, let's mix it all up. Let's do country and rock, and I think we were the last music practitioners in Taos. Because we did everything. The groups today kind of specialize on something. That's where they want to be. And not us. We were just doing all kinds of stuff, and so. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I remember going to the old Holiday Inn and listening to Vito and Alan. And there, the Cachina on this side también. Everywhere I would go listen to those guys. That's how good they were. I enjoyed their music a lot. And eventually got up there and sang a few songs with them. But Alan and I ended up doing the Living Center for a couple, 3 years. And Alan knew everybody in there, and everybody wanted to hear one Brown-Eyed Girl, but to him it was, okay, we're going to do the One-Eyed Girl for you today. That was Alan. Yeah. And not Junior anymore today, but
right. Look, I'll always be Junior.
I'll always be Junior.
Yeah.
I joined my dad's band 1985. I was 10 years old with him and Alan, and I've been on stage ever since. Man, that was a really interesting time in my life too, because I was just coming out of middle school, headed to high school, and at that same time I had joined the high school mariachi, and I was there also. So one of the things is, you guys know Nick Branchal, one of our good friends, Nick Branchal. He kept asking my dad, well, is Junior going to make it to the high school anytime soon? Because he kept asking when I was getting to the high school so I could join mariachi. He was so happy when I got there finally too that he put me to teach the guitar players, because I had already been playing guitar. So all the new class that come in with 5 or 6, 7, 8 guitar players, he said, you can go teach them. I don't have to do it. I can go teach the horn section. So that was one good thing. Alan, my second dad. Alan was my second dad to me, and miss him dearly. But man, these guys have taught me so much, starting from, like I said, from 1985 till now. I'm honored to still be doing it and still be playing with Time Machine Band, as well as being a producer myself with Adobe Records, and also still being able to be a solo artist too. I just won the award for Crossover Song of the Year at this year's 34th Annual New Mexico Hispano Music Awards show that took place in January, and I've got a couple more people that we're producing now. They've asked me to produce their stuff, so pretty good stuff. And then also I've been asked to be a radio DJ for New Mex Radio, and I've been doing that now 6 years. New Mex Radio's in full swing right now. We've got a whole website that's going to be up now, a new website redesigned March 3rd. I have a radio show every Wednesday and Thursday evening from 7 to 9 p.m. It's an internet radio, so you can download our app on your phone, New Mex Radio. You can also visit newmexradio.com. You can also get us New Mex Radio on Facebook. So there's 3 great ways. There's actually 4. If you have TuneIn, you can listen to New Mex Radio on TuneIn as well. So it's going great. We promote and push all the local New Mexico artists. That's our main goal. And I don't leave anybody out. I always tell all the artists when they come to do interviews with us at the radio station that I have an open door policy. I never tell anybody no, and I always play everybody's music. So that's my main goal. So that's
a little bit of it.
A little bit.
Yeah, I had to fire a guitar player when my band, so I got this guy to play for me then. And
well, you had hired Alan.
Well, yeah.
And as I remember, Alan told you, if I'm going to play with you, I come with one caveat.
Yeah.
Junior comes with me.
No, but when I had to fire the other guy. I won't say the name.
Yeah, please don't.
Yeah, we go back a long way.
We do.
This character and him and I played a lot there at the Eagles, or what they call
We've done the Eagles a lot.
Yeah, the Eagles there in Taos. We did a lot of music there.
We did the Living Center with you a lot.
And like what he's talking about, we didn't do just one kind of music. We had to do the country, the old time rock and roll, and the Mexican, everything, because that's where everybody likes to dance. But one thing that with this guy is where Vito says, "Okay, mira, you can't start singing until I do the tum tum tum," because when you do a solo artist, you do whatever you want. I had to learn how to time because of him.
I said, "You follow this here guitar now."
Yeah.
That's
So
pretty fun.
why don't do another song here?
Okay.
Will you guys do another song, and then we'll talk some more.
I'm going to pull something on here, and something we used to do on the road, and this is an oldie. I call it the homeless song of 1955.
1955?
Yeah. That's when the homeless song came out. I don't know. If I get into a groove, just get into it.
Yeah.
I ain't got a home, no place to roam. I ain't got a home, no place to roam. I'm a lonely boy, ain't got a home. I ain't got a mother, I ain't got a father, I ain't got no sister, I've only a brother. I'm a lonely boy, ain't got a home. I ain't got a home, no place to roam. I ain't got a home, no place to roam. I'm a lonely boy, ain't got home. I'm a lonely boy, ain't got home. I'm a lonely boy, ain't got home. Woo! Something a little different.
Now, talk about a little bit about your son following your guys' footsteps.
So yeah, my son, Vito the Third, he's definitely got it. I'll tell you that. He started young also. Of course, he was exposed to it from his grandpa and me. You know, he's been around it all his life. He picked it up really fast, and he picked it up real early in life too. About 8, 9, 10 years old as well. He's 23 now. And he does very well playing guitar. He was with us for a Christmas special we just did at the TCA. He rocked it. They wanted to have myself perform for that, and I said, "You mind if I bring my father?" And they said, "Yes." And I said, "I got one other question. You mind if I bring my son too?" So I invited all 3 Vitos, and they said yes. And man, to see my son also do that show with us was amazing, And he did a really, really rockin' version of "Run, Run, Rudolph" by himself, which was great. But he enjoys the blues, he enjoys rock, he enjoys all that stuff too. So he's definitely got it. He's got a great voice too. The boy can sing, so you be on the lookout. Yet another installment of the Vito chapter. So,
What's he doing now?
so he is working at Los Angelitos School in Taos. He's actually working in the schools with younger kids. He teaches 5 through 8 year olds, and he's a music teacher. So he loves what he does, and he's got a great personality, and they all call him Teacher Victor, and he just loves it, man. Teaching these little kids to sing also. So
Anybody have any questions you would like? Yes, Tim.
Oh, I got questions as long as my arm here, so.
Okay.
I'm glad you have short arms.
Senior, when you were in LA, you mentioned the union. I would imagine at that time you needed.
Local 47, yes, I joined it. Yeah, we had to,
Yeah.
because otherwise you would be playing B clubs only, and they won't hire unless you were,
And I wonder
and current.
if you could tell us some of the people you were pretty modest about just saying about who you were playing with, but if you could tell us a few of the named people that you were able to be on the road with at the time.
Yeah, well, the agency that we were working for, Mr. Chuck Cabot, he also handled the oldest groups like there was the Coasters, the Shirelles, the Rivingtons, Bobby Day of Rockin' Robin, and every time that we would crisscross into a town, we would back him up. So we were always backing somebody up, going through, because he had us all going all over the place. And when he had those oldies groups,
Yeah.
some of the they crisscrossed with some of the other groups, but crisscrossed with us a lot.
So another question is, what's in the body of your classical guitar?
that's a good question. Only someone like you would know, right?
Only certain people. Yeah, you can take a look at it if you want. It's a rattle. It's from a rattlesnake, and it's 14 years old. The rattler was 14 years old because it's got 14 rattles on it.
And why do you have that in there?
They say that it resonates the sound of the guitar, or it gives it like a little. It makes the notes a little longer. Yeah.
It's a good story, too.
No, it's real. It's right there if you want to see it.
Real. You shook it out for me,
Right.
My last question is, I know your family was one of the original settlers there in the Ranchos area there.
Yeah, we.
And so if you could talk about that, like being where your homestead is there around the church and all, that would be.
Well, if you're familiar with St. Francis Ranchos Church, it was a very famous church. And when they were building it, from what I've read, I guess they were building a fort all the way around it to protect from the Indians and from other people, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, we go back there. Well, it was 8 generations now.
Now it's 9.
Now it's like 9 or 10
10
generations of our family being right in front of the Rancho's church. And we all went to the St. Francis School, which is right there. Our house is right between the school and the church. And it's still there. And the house that he lives in is one of the very few that is still there from back then.
About
A lot of-
400 years old, you know?
This is, I think it's something like 300 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
So it's, yeah, that's a nice house.
that's great.
I used to make adobes about the size of this table. Talk about insulation. That house is cool in the summer and warm in the winter.
Yeah.
It's really great. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about a country song? Jerry Lee Lewis did this, and actually he was a rock and roller, but he did a country song. The news about all over town that you've been seen around and around, all trust in you was my great sin. What can I say? You over it again. You have no heart. You have no shame. You take sweet love and give the blame. All trust in you was my great sin. What can I say? You win again. What can I say? You win again.
Right on. So, when you were in California, how many years were you there total?
13, I think.
13?
Yeah.
And then they threw you out, or? No.
They want to keep me there. I had come back to Taos on vacation. I said, man, I'm missing the 4 seasons and everything else by being in LA.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the only thing, but I just felt like coming back home.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did at the time that I did.
Yeah, could you talk a bit more about the Angelitos, and do you guys actually have a place to record your producing? Do you record
Okay.
people?
So I have a recording studio. It's called Adobe Records. It's a label. He started in 1973. He started doing, him and Alan,
Yeah.
started doing all their stuff under Adobe Records. I kind of picked that back up in 2004 and kind of revived it. So Adobe Records, you can see it on Facebook. And it's a studio that I have now. It's my own personal recording studio, and I also record other artists. And it's where I have my radio show from too. So all live from right there. You can see it on Facebook too. New Mex Radio, Adobe Records.
It'll hook to other things.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
cool.
There's a whole link to all kinds of other stuff that
Excellent.
you'll be glad to see.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Who are some of the, as well as you, who are some of the artists that you've produced through that label?
So far, this guy right here
Who is that guy?
And Alan.
and Alan. I'll tell you the truth. What really got that going was actually Alan's vision to get some of his stuff recorded before he passed away. And so I really tried my hardest to put a studio together to be able to get that vision to happen for Alan. And bless his heart, we were able to do his album and the church album at that same time. Now, you realize Alan was sick at that time, and he fought cancer for about 11 years. In between that period where he was still doing chemo, we were tracking and doing songs for him. He would be able to come in only 1 week at a time out of each month. He said, when I go to chemo, what would happen is they would give him his injections, and he would take the chemo, and he would come back. He said, I'm down for 3 weeks. I can only have like about a week that I really feel good, and then I'd have to go back. So we had to schedule everything around when he was tracking that album around that week he felt good every month, so. But one amazing thing about that is that his album alone had 15 or 18 songs on it. And then the church album had 25 songs on it, I believe. And then he still had plans to do another album, which had another 20 or 25 songs. So we started all of that. Fortunately, we were able to finish the church album, which I'm in the process of trying to get a hold of now. It seems like the church hasn't ordered any copies, which I do want to be able to get a hold of that, because people have been asking for that church album that we did for the St. Francis Men's Choir, which him and Alan started in '76. Unfortunately, Alan, his album, he didn't get to hear the final version that I actually final mixed and mastered, because he passed away before he was able to hear it. But that is still out there as well, and I do have copies of that one, and then I do have some that we started that he hadn't finished, but those will probably stay that way, But yeah, that's how Adobe Records started. That's where it started for us. After that, I started doing some of my own songs, some of my own ideas with his help, and we were able to track some stuff, and then other artists started coming to me, that knew us. So we were able to do Lisa Anglada's album, which was, I think that was in 2019. We did Lisa Anglada's album. I was actually nominated for Producer of the Year for that album at the Hispano Music Awards that year. And then after that, I've got a couple of other artists like Vicente Sainz, who is an up-and-coming accordion player from Albuquerque, who's really, really talented. He's on my new song that I'll be releasing now in May. But he's also got plans to do a whole album now. So we'll be doing an album for him. I also have an artist, Marisa Archuleta, from Las Vegas, New Mexico, who's a young lady in her 20s who's a pretty amazing singer. She wants to go kind of the mariachi route and stuff, so I've already worked with some stuff with her. Those songs will be out here pretty soon too from there. And we'll see what the future holds. So we'll just take it a day at a time, a song at a time, or an album at a time.
Like you need to rest a little bit.
Right. My wife tells me the same thing. When are you going to rest? So I said, well, everything has its...
One day.
One day I'll rest.
Only one day?
One day.
Well, yeah, I'm glad to have the music alive still. And, thanks to him and Alan, they've... like I said, once again, they kind of showed me this path since I was a young boy, and I've always been around it. So I'm glad to carry it on and keep it going.
A lot of people say, "Oh, he's got to make us." You taught him. Actually, I didn't teach him anything. I just put him on stage, and I told him, "Turn off your guitar and pretend like you're playing, and smile and move a lot." And I used to get more compliments on him than the rest of the group. But he picked it up on his own eventually, so that's how that happened.
Right.
But we never actually sat down and taught him anything. I mean, it's...
Right.
Can you do me a favor, pick up that other guitar?
Okay. I can do that. Hold that there, Mike.
I have a question, and I think Wyman has a question, but you kind of answered a little bit. I was imagining there was some mentorship happening even just by osmosis, absorbing. But what about for you? Who was your musical influences?
Nobody
mentors?
in my family, and we were sheep herders. We were up in Colorado, and like I say, I had that guitar. I'd take it with me, and I had a captive audience. Background vocals and everything. No, I learned by just spinning 45s. One of my favorites was Fats Domino and Little Richard, and I played those till they gave out. Then that's how I learned, and so I learned to tune it, and nobody taught me anything. I still, to this day, I don't read a note of music. I made a living off of it, and I don't read a note. It's all out of here and here. So.
Thank you.
I thought we'd do Cuando Escuches Este Vals.
Oh, yeah. Kievi.
Hey.
Cuando escuches este vals, haz recuerdo de mí. Piensa en los besos de amor que me diste, que te di. Y si alguien quiere robar tu divino corazón, diles que mi alma te di. Y te di mi corazón. Como quieres, ángel mío, que te olvides y eres mi ilusión. En el cielo, en la tierra, en la mar, en la tumba estaremos los dos. Como quieres, ángel mío, que te olvides y eres mi ilusión. Mi alma es toda tuya y tuyo es mi corazón. Como quieres, ángel mío, que te olvides y eres mi ilusión. En el cielo, en la tierra, en la mar, en la tumba estaremos los dos. Como quieres, ángel mío, que te olvides y eres mi ilusión. Si mi alma es toda tuya y tuyo es mi corazón.
Whoa, yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah.
They asked
Thank you.
for that for anniversaries. It's a very old song.
Any other questions, anybody else? No.
Sure.
Well, I'm always curious if you got any memories of childhood, stories of getting in trouble, maybe ghost
Why does that
stories.
always come up?
I'll let you go first.
I got in trouble by playing the guitar. Nobody in my family wanted me. They said, "Do away with that thing. You know, you need to study and get a job." And even when I started working, they said, "It's not a job. That's a hobby." I said, "Yeah, but I bought 3 homes with it." So how can it be a hobby? Although it is a hobby as well. That's the only thing that I had a problem with was my family trying to accept.
No sheep tipping or no?
No, well, I took care of. My dad took care of. I think there was 5 or 6 flocks, and they're all like 1,500 head. So, but they couldn't go anywhere. I just take them all the way down to water and graze, and then I'd bring them all back. I had 3 dogs that did the work for me.
Did you do any shearing?
No, but they had those big bags after they sheared. They throw those big bundles in there. I was in there pressing them down.
I recall you losing a sheep one time.
Yeah. My dad woke me up at 2 a.m. He says, I said, "Where are we going?" He says, "I'll show you." So he took me to the water hole. He says, there was a ewe that was missing. I said, "Oh." Yeah, it was stuck over there. He said, So they all helped me get it out of the mud. What a lesson, man. I better learn to take them all back in. So,
Yes, I have a
Lori.
question. What about wood ticks?
yeah, I had them all over myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had those ticks all over. So, fortunately, they never went under the skin or anything. But
That's good.
yeah, they were full of that. You know about that, huh?
I'm from Wyoming.
Yeah, so a lot of those stories, huh?
And you? Did you ever get in trouble?
Never. Yeah, I got in trouble plenty, I'm sure. You know, one of the funny things is like nowadays, or the younger generation will never know what it's like to. They're always trying to get into the bars, you know what I mean? And everybody's got like stories of fake IDs and stuff like that. I was always in the bar with my dad. I was always part of the group, so I never had that problem. I was always just accepted as part of the group, and even today.
Exchange.
Even today, it's just I go to the bar and they're like, "Oh, hey, Vito, come on in." I mean, it's kind of weird the way it's always been, but I was always with them when I joined the band once again when I was younger. You could be in the bars with your parents when you were with your parents, so it was an interesting time for me being as young as I was. But I'll tell you one thing, I'll never forget it. It's an interesting learning experience, and lot of stuff that I didn't know and realize that I was going to use later. It's one of those things where you're exposed to it at an early age. I mean, we did a lot of music. We did a lot of traveling. Sometimes we had 3 gigs in one day, stuff like that. At the time I was...
Especially for the fiestas.
Especially for fiestas, and around the time I was, like 10, 12, and I was like, man, do I have to move this equipment again? Why am I doing this? Don't we have roadies to do this stuff? Anyway. The fun part about
my
that.
dad never helped me.
How come my
We
dad
were
never
the
helped me?
roadies.
I said, this is not the way I see it on TV. But the funny thing about that is that I'm still doing that today.
Yeah.
My group, I'm still moving equipment. But the fun part about that too, like I said, I didn't realize the things that I was going to be able to use later on was Alan taught me a lot about sound. Mm-hmm. He taught me a lot about PA systems and, certain impedances and stuff like that. And now it's led to me being... running sound for my own group and running a recording studio and now a radio station. So like I said, going back to, I didn't realize all the lessons I was being taught when I was young, that I didn't realize how much of this I was actually going to use later on in life. And here I am 41 years later, able to use every single bit of it.
When we played together, I'd go over to his house and we load up the truck, the station wagon or the van,
The trailer.
all the stuff, and I've almost 2 hours to set up, 2 hours to take down.
Yeah.
And for a 3-hour gig and $50.
Yes. But that's one other thing we tell everybody too, you don't do it for the money.
You don't.
You do it because you love it. And that's the way I still look at it today. I was taught that from these guys,
I learned it from Ray Charles. He said, if you do it for the money, you're a band user. If you do it for the music, you're a band lover. And that
Well
holds
said.
true. That holds true.
Yeah, well said for sure.
I'll tell you a little story about him that he.
Oh.
When he turned the day he turned 21, I said, "Okay, you're going to take me to Andy's La Fiesta Lounge."
Yeah.
At that time, they had the window where you could drive
Andy's,
up.
yeah.
So you're going to drive and you're going to go get the beer today. And I went with him. So we went over there. I told Andy, it's his birthday today. So he came to get beer. It's his birthday today. I've been selling him for about 2 years.
Yeah.
It's true.
He's been 21 for a long time.
Yeah, that's right.
I want you to do for these folks a hideaway.
Hideaway. Oh, wow.
Put him on the spot.
Our little thing by Freddie King.
Yeah.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
There you go. Thank you, Tim.
That reminds me, how many guitars do you have, Vito?
I now have 25, working on 26. There's a story behind each and every one of those two, which is, I don't know if we have time for everything, but I'll tell you, the first guitar I ever bought was an acoustic Washburn. My good friend, you may know John Gold from Dead Horse Recording Studio. He moved here to Taos from Las Vegas. He found it on an auction, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to purchase this guitar? I thought I was going to buy it for myself, but I think I'll pass it on to you." So I bought it, and it was one of my very first purchases. Up until that point, my dad had got me all my other guitars, since he owned a music store, you know. Actually, I'll tell you another funny story. I remember being in high school, and he had the music store, and I had this, was it the baby blue Fender? The baby blue and white Fender. And I wanted a black and white one. And I remember playing that one, and I went to the music store, and I told my dad, I said, "I'd really like to have that one." He said, "I'll see what I can do." And I remember coming, you know, we took the blue one to school with me, and he said, "I'll take you to the store, and I'll see what I can do." And on the way back, you know, and it had the soft case, it wasn't a hard case. And on the way back, I was like, "Were you able to get the black one?" And he said, "No, I really couldn't do it." And sure enough, we got home, and I opened it, it's still the blue one. And then I think about a week later, we tried it again. You know, I said, "See if you could get the black guitar for me." And so we took it. He took me to school, dropped me off. He took the guitar to work, and he came back home, same thing. And I kind of felt like it didn't happen. You know what I mean? One of those things. So I went off and played, you know, and came back, and I opened it up to practice. And lo and behold, there's the black one. So I remember that real vividly. I had a black Strat from him when he had the music store. You fast forward a little bit to when I started really purchasing guitars. I was able to get his guitar, his original L5S, from him, which
It's a rare guitar.
it's a rare guitar, and
Even though it's a Gibson. But
yeah, they made it from 71 to 78, I believe, was only that one period. And if you know anything about Gibson guitars, the L5 was the streamlined F hollow body
yeah, big one.
jazz guitar, and it's the only one with a chalice on the headstock, besides the mandolin and the Birdland that have the chalice. The L5S model was the S stand for solid body, and they made it solid curly maple wood. It looks almost like a Les Paul. I have so many people that tell me that's a great Les Paul, and then I give them the history. But it's actually an L5S. But I was able to get that guitar from him, and he did tell me one interesting thing when I did get it, and I still use it to this day. He said, "You'll never need another guitar after you play this." And I knew that. Even from playing with him and Alan, being so young when I was in the band once again, my job was to, at the end of the night, you remember, we get done and everybody was talking and everybody was shaking hands and everybody was happy, and he told me, this was the first thing he'd always done, "Go put the guitars away." So it was my job to put them away, and that's the only time I ever got to touch that guitar back then. I was like, and it was just like an aha moment for me. You know, I'd put the black Strat or the blue one at the time I had, or the black one he got me, and then I'd pick up that one. It's solid gold. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's natural wood with all gold hardware. To me, every time I picked it up was just like a moment for me, you know. And I never got to play it a whole lot, you know, which was kind of odd, you know. And then I'd put it away, and that happened for a long time. That happened for 10 years, 12, 15 years, putting it away, you know, till I finally got a hold of it. And when he finally passed it on to me, it was like the passing of the torch, if you will, you know. And like I said, I religiously use it to this day. I've tried to use other guitars, and it just doesn't happen.
All the finish is off of it.
Yeah, the finish is off of that one, believe me. If you guys ever come by or want to go by the house, I'll be more than glad to show you and give you the history. But he did tell me, "You'll never use another guitar again once you use this." And so I didn't buy all these other guitars because I didn't want to use that one. I bought other guitars only because some of the other ones that I bought are limited editions, limited colors, or special run guitars. That's the only other reason I've bought other Gibsons. And so now I have 25, 26 Gibsons, and for that reason. But there is one other special Gibson I have in my collection, and it's the one I got from Alan Vigil. And it's a 335. It's a Tobacco Burst 1978 ES 335 CRR.
That's the
country
one I
rock.
like to play.
Yes. If you see videos of us on YouTube, which you can find videos of us playing, he's usually playing that guitar. But those two guitars, when I started with the Time Machine Band back in '07 as the frontman, because I played with them when he was with the Time Machine Band, the 6 years he was with them, I was still in the back like I was with Alan and him in the band. I was kind of in the background playing rhythm. When he retired and I finally got with Time Machine Band and I was a frontman, I took those two guitars with me. Those are the only two I ever picked, was his L5 and the one Alan had. And one thing is I never understood why so many guitar players in any genre of any group always took other guitars. Well, at some point, the guitars we're playing now are becoming too valuable, and yes, they do get stolen and stuff like that. So there's always that fear. So that's another reason why I bought other guitars, because I do have the fear of leaving these guitars anyway and anywhere, you know. And John knows too, John Vargas that plays with us in the band, it's the first thing I do when we go do sound check. I always put the guitars back with me, or I go put them in the room. Even if it means, well, we're going to go downstairs and eat, I'm going to go down 3 blocks to the room, go secure my guitars, and I'll be back. It's that kind of thing all the time, because I just don't trust it, you know. If you look up L5S's, they're really expensive. They're really expensive now. 335s, old ones, like the Country Rock Edition that was Alan's, that one is very rare as well. There's only 300 of those ones made. And it has certain little appointments like a brass nut. Not most guitars have that. It has all nickel hardware. Most guitars have chrome and gold. So that one is a rare item too. So that was my quest to buy so many other guitars, and it was not to replace, but to not have anything happen to these other ones. Now, when I do a gig where they're with me all the time, like when we play for the fiestas and I know I can walk on and it stays with me and I actually walk off with it, then it's fine. I'll use those ones. But you know, they're special and they're sentimental to me. You know, in each one. So.
It's like leaving a '57 Chevy out.
Yeah, you don't
It's
do
gotta
that
be
now
gone,
either.
you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I do have one other story, which is kind of funny, leading up to why I have so many guitars. One thing is, my wife told me the same thing. And so you can see patterns in how we buy guitars. All my guitars have a certain look to them. They have the natural wood look. I don't go for a lot of bright colors. I don't go for like really off the wall colors or metallic flashy colors. They're all natural wood. Like if you see older Les Pauls or if you see older 335s, they're all natural wood guitars, and I like that. However, one weekend, my wife and I got away to Albuquerque, and we went to a concert, and we happened to go to Guitar Center that day, and she had already told me, "You're not buying any more guitars." And so I went in, and I was looking at them, you know, I mean, I can look, you know, and I saw one. I spotted one in particular that it kind of caught my eye. It was another Les Paul, another Gibson, of course. And this one happened to be what they call now Blueberry Burst, and it's a very limited edition run if you look those up, to Gibson Blueberry Burst guitars. And so what it is, it's all natural wood, but it's got a dark blue hue in the middle, and it's all outlined in like a dark purple color, but you can still see the wood, the maple through it. So I looked at it, I saw it, and my wife walked over to me and she saw me looking at it. And she said, "Are you thinking about it?" And I said, "No."
You liar.
And we kind of left it at
Right.
that. You know, we went to the concert that night. We woke up the next morning, went to breakfast at the motel. And funny thing is, it came up again as we were eating. She says, "So are you going to go back and get that guitar?" And I said, "No." And she says, "Well, if you're not going to get it, I will." So she surprised me with that because it was our anniversary also. So we ended up going back. She bought that one. That's why I have that one too. So like I said, most of the guitars I have, they're special run, limited edition, limited colors. They're just not just any guitar that I happen to find. There's a reason and a reason behind each one of them. You know.
Just like me, I only thing I take is my 9-string.
Yep.
That's you. And
Yeah,
if I'm in
that's
town,
unusual.
yeah, and if I go to a restaurant, I take it in with me, and everybody looks at me as I walk in with my guitar.
Yeah.
Are you going to play? I says, "No, I don't leave it in the car."
That's it. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Well, I thought we'd do one from one of the things that we do in church, since it's Lent
It is Lent.
Lent season, and I thought you were going to play the guitar.
Oh, you want to play guitar?
Yeah, why don't you play the guitar?
All right.
See,
Truth be
Daddy
told,
still rules.
Truth be told, I really don't play bass.
I don't either, but I don't want to.
All right. el monte Calvario estaba una cruz, emblema de ofrenda y dolor. Mas yo amo esa cruz, de murió mi Jesús por salvar almas mil pecador. Hoy yo siempre amaré esa cruz, en sus triunfos mi gloria será. Y algún día, en vez de una cruz, mi corona Jesús me dará. Aunque el mundo desprecie la cruz de Jesús, para mí tiene suma atracción. Pues en ella llevó el Cordero de Dios de mi alma la condenación. Hoy yo siempre amaré esa cruz, en sus triunfos mi gloria será. Y algún día, en vez de una cruz, mi corona Jesús me dará. En la cruz de Jesús, su sangre vertió, hermosura contemplo sin par. Pues en ella triunfante la muerte venció, y mi sed pueda santificar.
The old rugged cross.
Oh, yo siempre amaré esa cruz, en sus triunfos mi gloria será. Y algún día, en vez de una cruz, mi corona Jesús me dará. Yo seré siempre fiel a la cruz de Jesús, sus desprecios con él llevaré. Y algún día feliz, con los santos en luz, para siempre su gloria veré. Hoy yo siempre amaré esa cruz, en sus triunfos mi gloria será. Y algún día, en vez de una cruz, mi corona Jesús me dará.
That's the old rugged cross. I'm sure you recognized it.
I have a couple of questions.
Sure.
You mentioned the music store. Tell us a little more about that.
I started a music store.
It was in the mid '80s.
Yeah,
early mid
or
'80s.
earlier. I don't know. Anyway, I started and I said, well, I don't have a lot of stuff to sell. And didn't really have the money to invest into that. So I went in cahoots with Casa de Música in Las Vegas. And so together we our big way was to bring the instruments to school at the beginning of the school. And that was our big thing. Of course, half of them came back by Christmas. and so I just got bored sitting there at the store. I'm not the type to be sitting around, so I sold it to some other people in Taos, and I said, no, I got to go play. And well, at the time I was building a house, going for wood and chopping wood and all that stuff. I couldn't see just sitting there at the store.
Where was it located?
It was right across from the Fetchin Inn. And it was right on the corner as Michael's Kitchen. Right on the next corner, it was right there. I think it's a gallery now or something.
Cool. Let's see. There was one other thing you brought up.
But yeah, I sold a lot of instruments while I was there, but I just got bored with it. Now I'm ready to go back. Now I need a store. I'm not chopping wood anymore.
Yeah, you're a lot younger then.
Ready to sit instead.
Yeah, right
Right.
now I just put it up to 80. Yeah.
A little easier, no?
Oh yeah.
The other thing that you brought up, and also with the discussion about Alan, was you're starting the men's choir. Tell us a little about how that came about. And
You know that
how
my mom always said, "Can you do something for the church with your music?" They were my almost many times over there, and it's my second home because I started as an altar boy. I was 6 years old in that church until I was 14, and like I say, it's like my second home. So when I came back from California, she said, I said, "Oh, I didn't know where to start." So I started asking some of the girls they only had a ladies' choir then, that's all they had. And so I started getting some stuff, that was easy to do. And then I presented it to Alan, and he was all for it because he says, "Well, my mom and dad are in the choir, but they're in town at Guadalupe." He says, "Yeah, let's start something for..." So I said, well, and Father was a little leery. I forget what Father we had then. And he says, "I'll give you the 7:00 Mass."
The early one.
It was kind of hard because we were doing gigs in Colorado and getting in at 2 or 3 and had to be there by 6:30. And so, but anyway, slowly but surely we got it going. And then Father Michael O'Brien sent us to San Antonio on a workshop. And that's where I picked up a lot of different masses from all over the world, Spanish masses, from all over. And the first thing that the next priest that got into that, I said, "I don't want you to do anything that's not in the book." I said, "Well, that limits it to about 6, 6 hymns." And we were trying to, but we've always tried to do the old stuff to make the young people aware of it. That's all, They like it or they don't like it, that's okay. But they should be aware of it, and that's been our mission. And so that's why we specialize in the Spanish Mass. Although we do English as well, but we specialize in Spanish.
And do you have different ages that are in that
Well,
choir?
right now we only have 4 of us. One of the other guitar players is my age. I think we're on our way out. So it's him and one of the other guys, Bobby Romero, that are going to have to eventually take it over. And we have been looking for people that want to play, but it's hard to invest in the kids because you start with them and then they take off to college and you never see them anymore.
Yeah.
We want somebody that can stick with it because, like I said, we've been with it since 1976. And I feel funny when I can't go, and I just feel like I'm letting them down. But the thing is, you have to be committed. It has to be a true commitment. And of course, you got to be able to play and sing. And everybody wants to play, but hardly anybody wants to sing. And so we need the voices first of all, the praises, and then and then the music comes in after that, you know. But everybody wants to play, but not so much sing.
Right.
And that's so we're still looking. We'd like to get the.
Speaking of voices, do you want to try this one? Give them a little example of that one.
Yeah.
This is one we do in church all the time. Speaking of voices, you know, we do this a cappella, and it's the name of it is Salve Salve Piadosa Maria. It's an ode to our Virgin Mary. You know,
So we do it in May for month
Mother's
of May,
Day.
and also for all the Marian holidays like Guadalupe, and we do it with one guitar and all the voices.
Salve, salve, piadosa María, a tu trono de gloria celeste. Este día tus hijos queremos, tu socorro potente implorar. Salve Virgen María, salve Reina del cielo, bella y cándida como el lirio. Salve, salve Virgen María. Salve Virgen María, salve Reina del cielo, bella y cándida como el lirio. Salve, salve Virgen María. Tú que en fuga 1000 veces pusiste, con tu sola mirada al verlo, tú que siempre vencido lo vistes, a tus hijos infunde valor. Salve Virgen María, salve Reina del cielo, bella y cándida como el lirio. Salve, salve Virgen María. Salve Virgen María, salve Reina del cielo, bella y cándida como el lirio. Salve, salve Virgen María.
Very nice, very nice, very nice, very nice.
How's that translate? Salves to Maria? What's the title of the song?
Salve, salve, piadosa María.
It's like Hail Holy Queen.
Yeah.
For translation, that's about the closest. I'm glad you put vodka in this, you know.
It's a secret stash.
Any other questions? Any other questions, you guys?
Anybody has any questions they'd like to ask?
Feel free to ask.
They're not charging for questions today.
But you can write them in the back of a 20.
Yeah,
and
$100 bill, you know.
Put another rancherita, I guess.
All right, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? En las cantinas serás templo del mundo, desde una pobre madre a su hijo malviviente. Y aunque rodeado te encuentres de placeres, en vino y las mujeres trampada a perderte. No son sinceros amigos de cantina y amores que se venden con el que va llegando. Mientras que tienes dinero, tienes todo, luego que se te acaba te van abandonado.
¡Échale, compadre!
Así se dice solo.
Pasaron meses, pasaron muchos años, y aquella viejecita lloraba a su hijo amado. Al día verses por pleitos de cantina, a veces en la calle lo hallaba bien tirado. Fueron en vano aquellos 1000 consejos, y aquella pobre madre le dio toda la vida. El malviviente marqueado con su madre, así dejó todito, pero para allá de juicio.
Now, I want you guys to think about this. How old are you, Vito?
81.
81, and look at playing that guitar like you play. That's to me.
I'll do that too.
Yeah.
I'm glad to still see him playing, and
Rusty, Russ.
one of the things for me growing up too, going back to my childhood, was before I even started playing, I got to go with him to set up and stuff.
Just change guitars.
I was 6 years old then when I started looking up to him, and he would do sound check and stuff at certain clubs. And I think one of my vivid memories was Martinez Hall, and I was about 5 years old, so that had to be about 1980. And so I remember him setting up and checking stuff, and I was just standing there, a 5-year-old little kid, just looking up at him, and I was like, wow, that's just, to me it was amazing. And to be here now, still to the point of where we are today, and still see him play at 81.
That,
Believe me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so blessed and honored. So
Yeah, to me, the other day that I went over to the studio, him and I did a couple of songs, and he was doing that, and I just admire that, bro. It is, because my fingers are already going every which way but loose,
When they're all loose, I can get them straight.
So, but I just admire that, bro. I really
E
do.
minor to A.
okay.
In the cool of the evening when everything is getting kind of groovy, I'd call you up and ask you if you'd like to go with me and see a If you decide someday to stop this little game that you are playing, I'm gonna tell you all that my heart's been dying to be saying. Just like a ghost, you've been haunting my dreams. Oh, I'll propose on Halloween. Love is kind of crazy with a spooky little girl like you. Spooky, spooky. I'll say spooky. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're on. Green grass.
G.
Give G.
Let me play bass for this one. You want to play guitar?
Yeah, play, Michael. Play, Michael.
Sure,
I'll
sure.
play bass.
Miguelito de la Q.
Let's get Mike in here too.
Yeah.
I thank you guys for having us once again.
Yeah.
It's our honor to be here.
Don't worry, we're gonna send you a bill for $1.298.
I'm sure you will.
The old town looks the same as I step down of the train. And there to meet me is my mama and papa. Down the lane I walk with my sweet Mary. Hair gold and lips like cherry. Is good to touch the green, green grass of home. Yes, they'll all come to meet me, arms reaching, smiling sweetly. Oh, again I'll touch the green, green grass of home.
Take it.
Oh. The old house is still standing, the painted, cracked and dried. And there's that old oak tree that I used to play in. Down the lane I look, and here comes Mary. Hair gold and lips like cherries. Is good to touch the green, green grass of home. Yes, they'll all come to meet me, arms reaching, smiling sweetly, as again I'll touch the green, green grass of home. Okay, Vito. And I wait and look around me at the fur gray walls that surround me, and I realize that I was only dreaming. For there's a God and a sad Padre, hand in hand we'll walk a break again. I'll touch the green, green grass of home. Yes, they'll all go to see me, arms folded, praying softly as they lay beneath the green, green grass of home. Oh yeah.
Good job, Mike.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for jumping in there with us.
Well, guys.
Let's see what we can do.
What's that one we just did when we first started this?
Oh, take
Yeah, do that one.
that one.
Yeah.
No.
Give me. We'll do a bilingual tune since we have Spanish classes here.
Spanglish.
Take the ribbon from your hair, shake it loose and let it fall, laying soft against my skin, like the shadows on the wall. Come and lay down by my side till the early morning light. All I'm asking is your time. Help me make it through the night. I don't care what's right or wrong. I won't try to understand. Let the devil take tomorrow. Lord, tonight I need a friend. Yesterday is dead and gone, and tomorrow's out of sight. And it's sad to be alone. Help me make it through the night. Ven acércate tú a mí, ven y siente mi pasión, acaríciame una vez, dame todo tu calor. Lo de ayer se terminó y mañana quién sabrá. No quiero estar solo yo. Esta noche ya será. No me importa lo demás. Solo quiero comprender. Vaya al diablo con mañana. Esta noche de querer. Yesterday is dead and gone, and tomorrow's out of sight. And it's sad to be alone. Help me make it through the night. I don't wanna be alone. Help me make it through the night.
Miguelito de la Cruz.
Oh, yeah.
Makes it easy to sing when you have such great players. No, it does. Unless anybody, yes.
I have one question, and this is for Wyman.
Uh-huh.
So when you were a little boy, hanging around those clubs and bars, did you learn more what to do or what not
That's a good question. Believe me. Yeah, it's an eye opener for sure. I'll just say it's shaped who I am today, and I'm still a good guy. So I have not gotten in any trouble. So, but you know, I've enjoyed every step of the way. If I had to do it all over again, I would. I'll just put it that way. And you know, I had great teachers along the way. We've lost some along the way. I'm glad to still have some of them with me along the way. Tim, I include you in that as well. You know, you guys are all great, and you know, for not speaking for myself and also other groups, man, go out and support your local groups. Man, these guys put their heart and soul into everything they do. So I know how important it is for everybody to go and see, you know, musicians and do their thing, and go support them. You know.
And when they entered the girls, then he knew what to do.
Yeah, I knew what to do. Stay away, run. Just
What
kidding.
not to do.
I have a quick thing, Michael.
Sure.
Something that we've asked quite a few of our guests is, and you've kind of said this already, but if you could offer some advice either to young musicians or just young people in general, what would you each, you know, share with like generations that are coming in? We have some of them wandering around here and some that might get to listen to this. So what would you share?
I would say that music is one thing that does keep them off the street for sure. If you can get them interested in that, and really stick with it. Don't let it go. It's hard at first to get going, you know.
Yeah.
And but you know, just stick with it. It'll happen. And I've learned that for me, it's always been better to learn, to play with people that are better than I. Otherwise, you're teaching, you're not really jamming. You know? Okay. But when you get together with guys that are better, then you enjoy it because you learn a lot from them, you know. And I've had it both. I've been where the guys don't know, and I end up teaching, you know, instead of really enjoying it. But it all comes together. It's all good. It's all good. But the thing is to stick with it. If you start, it'll happen. And even if you do it just for your own, you know, you don't have to join groups and stuff if you don't want to. But even for your own enjoyment, stick with it and try and better yourself all the time. And,
Anybody got any other questions? If not, why
Vito,
don't
do
you
you
guys
want to
take
add
it
to
home?
that?
I'll add to that.
Okay.
Yeah, and in the same lines of teaching young kids to play music, you know, I would encourage them. One thing is in this world of technology, I will say, and only because I'm in it too, is we have a lot of AI generated stuff. Music is starting to be AI generated now too. But one thing AI can't generate is this.
Yeah.
You
El
know.
corazón.
And so I still say, I've played with a lot of groups too all over New Mexico. I've had the pleasure of sharing the stage with some pretty dominant people too. You know, and the thing is, we've played to tracks. I've played with groups that have had backing tracks. I've played to groups that have had big, huge bands with horns and stuff. I enjoy that. And I've seen both sides of that, you know, and to me, there's nothing wrong with any of it, but I will say this. Once again, you know, music comes from the soul. It comes from the heart, you know, and if you're going to bring these kids up to learn, also get them in touch with other people that are musicians, you know, because there's lots of ways to get them out there. And if you know any young kids, have them get in touch with us. You know, we give lessons. We'd be more than glad to encourage. Like my son teaches in the schools too. He loves teaching music and teaching the young kids, and we'd be more than glad to, you know, get them started on their way. But you know, I agree with my dad too. It keeps them off the streets. It's something for them to do. Believe me, it's once you learn music, it's a lifetime of learning that never ends. My dad told me this one time too. No matter how much you learn, you realize there's so much more you don't know, and you're constantly learning. And so to be able to do that and still be able to play and teach the younger kids, let's keep la nuestra cultura and you know, the Northern Mexico music alive. We need to do that too. That's very important, you know, and I passed it on to my kids and they're still playing too. So it's good, you know. So we got 3 generations here.
And one thing that exists in this business is jealousy and envy. And really there shouldn't be, because you know what?
You see it a lot.
You have you have a talent. I can't take that talent away from you. It's yours. You know, but a lot of people in this business are so jealous of each other or envy. There's no place for that.
No kidding.
There's room for
Really?
everybody, for sure.
Because no matter how good you are, you know, you're just part of a camaraderie, you know, and you're part of this group. And it's music. So it's a big difference, you know. And just do away with that negativity. That I would give that advice to all the young kids that are coming.
Right on.
And the other thing,
You know, respect each other's talent. You know, you can't take it away from them.
one
so
one
don't
big
be
thing you have
jealous.
to teach the kids too is to believe in themselves. That's a big thing. I can speak from experience, and my dad could be attest to this too, that I didn't really have the confidence when I was younger like I do now. And it does take time, and it does take a while to get, you know, to a certain point, but you have to stay with it. And if you believe in yourself, it will come. You have to put the work in. It's not something that just happens overnight. So for younger kids getting into it, believe in yourself, stay with it. It will come. You can do it.
And stay positive.
And stay positive.
Yes.
Well, younger kids like myself appreciate that.
Sure.
Yeah.
One of these days you'll grow up and you'll find out.
I hope not.
Not him. No. I want to thank Vito and Vito for being here today. I want to thank all of you guys for being here today
Yeah,
too.
thank you.
Makes it really. He said, "I didn't know it was going to be a lot of people here." And,
I thought it was just me and him.
yeah. But thank you guys for being here. I'm glad and I know you enjoyed it because these guys are incredible. Next month, the 14th, we're going to have Kate Cisneros and Lorraine.
Corinne.
Huh?
Corinne.
Corinne, yeah, they're going to be
Montoya.
talking about their lives and stuff like that.
Good storytellers.
Yeah.
You will be in stitches, I will just tell you.
When are you going to have Tim Long?
Well, we'll get in. Don't worry. His daughter has to, you know,
He's a
get
great
paid
drummer.
under.
He's a great drummer.
There you go.
In May, we're going to do a Mother's Day thing. We're going to ask as many mothers that would like to come in and talk about their family a little bit, because we want to honor that. And that was her idea, and I thought it's a great idea.
Yes.
So in April, we have Billy and Jana Chuleta coming in.
Yeah, good friends of ours.
Great guys.
That's in May. June, I think we're going to have the Leon brothers from Cerro come and tell their stories, which they have a lot of great stories también. And so we got things going on, and the 21st, we still have to fight with that one of March for the Linda Calhoun and Carol Werndl from Red River. We're still putting that together as to when and where, but that's going to happen too. So we want to get people coming in, and if you guys would like to be part of this, let us know. We'd be glad to, because this is not just for this area, trying to make it as broad as we can, because this is what to me, El País is, all of the area here. So,
And I don't want to leave Fred out. He's
yeah.
Fred.
yeah,
Sure.
he's
Musician.
he has been around with us for a long time.
Yep.
They've
Yeah.
done a lot of gigs together.
Kudos and thumbs up to Fred.
We'll schedule another open mic also, so those who might want to share like a 10-minute story or, you know, a little bit, have the opportunity, if you don't feel like you want to be up here for
Yeah.
an hour, that you could, you know, share a short thing, which would be more like what I would feel
That's it-
comfortable
that's it.
doing.
Yeah, you want to do one more to take it home with or not?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do one more. And
We're gonna do this one.
what is it called?
Este es el
Este es el
día.
día. It's another church hymn, but
Yeah,
it's
this
great.
is
Yeah, well,
this is the day that the Lord
Yeah,
has made.
Wyman needs a lot of church music.
Oh yeah.
The-
Once again, thank you, guys.
When we came for the Cambalache, I told him I did Borracho en las Cantinas. I said, I'm sorry because I know that up here in Cuesta nobody drinks. They just swallow, I guess.
Este es el día que hizo el Señor. Cantemos todos con santo fervor. Cielos y tierra muy juntos están. porque el Señor ha venido aquí. Cantan las flores, se alegran los campos, bosques y prados alaban a Dios. Así nosotros cantamos alegres en este día que hizo el Señor. Que sea bendito, bendito sea aquel que viene en el nombre de Dios. Que las guitarras resuenen por él y cada nota sea un canto de amor. Cantan las flores, se alegran los campos, bosques y prados alaban a Dios. Así nosotros cantamos alegres en este día que hizo el Señor. Así nosotros cantamos alegres en este día que hizo el Señor.
Gracias.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys. Thank you everybody.
Yeah, thank you
And
for
thank
having
you, the
us.
library, for hosting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
We
the
do this
person.
every month.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Sharon, and all you
Library.
guys back there. Thank you.
And for keeping it nice and warm.
Yeah.
You have listened to the stories. Vayan y digan a todos que vengan a escuchar las historias de nuestro país.